Hey everybody, it's Awesome Ashby, your team building expert here in Southern California. And I'm doing this challenge with some people in a Facebook group. And I also want to make sure I do it again and record it and put it on my channel to remind myself that I did it because I'm doing it live on Facebook in the group. And then there's really no record or history of it. So I'll probably put it under a playlist called like Dare Challenges. And then if you want to like take the prompt and do it yourself, I say go for it because I got it from somebody else too. And honestly, I think that these prompts are really good just as like self-reflection prompts and make you think about stuff maybe that like you wouldn't have thought about otherwise or take time out of your day to marinate on. And so this is dare number 3. And the dare is, what would your ideal day be? And it's so interesting because uh, I've never like posed this question to myself, which is weird. Like, I think we should all pose this question to ourselves. Like, hello, this is your life. It should be the best life. So, what's your ideal day? Right. So, my immediate thought was like, like, oh, it's a trick question. Like, okay, the ideal day is somebody puts $1 in my bank account every minute of 24 hours, and every minute it doubles. So like $1, $2, $4, $8, $16, $32, $64. I mean, by the end of the day, I don't see how that's not an ideal day. But I'm pretty sure that's not the point of the question. I'm almost 100%. But in my head, I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so my for real ideal day would definitely be to be at a very beautiful fancy hotel on the beach in Southern California. And I wake up and I get to go for a swim in a pool at the fancy hotel, not the ocean. I'm not mad at the ocean. I love the ocean. It means like a lot to me. Being from South Florida and Southern California, those two like places are very special and iconic as far as I'm concerned in America because of their beautiful beaches. And there are other places along the coastline that do have really beautiful beaches, but maybe not in the same way that South Florida and Southern California. And so fancy, beautiful hotel, and there's a maid, so I'm never cleaning. My ideal day would never involve me cleaning anything. And then I go swimming. And then after I go for a swim, there's like an amazing breakfast waiting for me with like something protein packed, like an omelet with like delicious meats and veggies in it that I like. And probably in this season, a pumpkin spice latte, but just a latte in general. And then I get to go for a walk on the beach, and the weather's really nice. It's not like super hot, it's like a solid 72 vibes, you know? And then I get to either do a team building event or talk to some clients in the afternoon, uh, or make some videos in the afternoon, enjoy myself, maybe some videos on the beach. I love a good background. And I also really like team building events since that's, what I've been doing for the last decade. And it's so funny because I do complain about sand in my car. I will not deny that. I do complain. But besides the sand in my car, um, yeah, I love the beach. It's like the ocean is so magnificent and huge, and it reminds me that like there's things in this life that are so much bigger than myself. And it just really brings me this sense of calmness. And then after work, I would love to, again, being in events for as long as I've been in events, uh, you really never can have an event without food. Think about it. Any event you've ever done for anything, food is involved. And so then after either talking to clients or doing a team building event on the beach, I would go to like a delicious restaurant um, with a really great chef, Michelin star or not. And there'd be like some shrimp cocktail and some like charged sourdough with burrata on top and a pesto or, bruschetta. I mean, it would just be deliciousness. Maybe like a salmon, something, lemon cape. I don't know. I'm not the chef. That's not my part. And then a fantastic dinner. And then I could walk along the beach back to my fancy hotel where I'm staying, and everything is clean and my clothes are pressed and ready for the next day. And then I don't know, maybe get a workout in, or maybe I have to like binge the latest Housewives. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling at the end of the day. And yeah, that sounds super awesome. Uh, yes, I love to spend time with friends and family, but this is my idea of an ideal day. Just me living my best life. And I'm curious what your ideal day is. It's interesting because everybody has such a different outlook on it, whether it's they were looking for some peace and quiet or they really want to spend time with their, loved ones. And it's just so interesting because I think all of that is great. But as a reformed people pleaser, I think it's really important when we ask ourselves some of these questions to really look deep within. Like, it's not like your family's going to feel left out if you don't mention them in your pretend ideal day. Uh, and I want you to spend time with your friends and family. That's not my point. My point, because yes, team building, right? All the teams. But this question I think is really fascinating because I think a lot of times we don't feel like we have control over our day in a way. Am I rhyming? What's happening? But like, yeah, for real, we have like responsibilities, whether it's a job or family or neighbors or a community. We feel beholden to respond to somebody about something. This needs to get done. 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 And I think that's all great because I do believe in team building and I think it's really important to be a part of community. But I also am a super big fan of just being like, you know what? This time, whatever this time is my time and I'm going to do what I want with it. And I think it's really valuable for each of us to have that, to just have that like ability to create space in our life and be like, this is what makes me happy. This is what brings me joy. I mean, as I'm even doing this second video after doing it live on Facebook, I'm like, I should do this for myself. I should just like pack up and go to a fancy hotel on the beach in Southern California and spoil myself and just have a day where I live out my dreams and use their pool, especially while it's still warm outside. So this gave me a lot to think about, and I think it's a good exercise. So yes, I am suggesting to anyone watching this video to just like sit down, find the silence, and like think, what would your ideal day be? Because like when I first thought about it, I was like, oh, I just don't want to have to do that, or I don't want to have to do that. But then it was like, yeah, but what do you like? What brings you joy? Like, what do you really love to do? Um, And I thought that was interesting because like I also enjoy going on adventures. Like if I didn't have work, after I swim and have breakfast, I would love to go on an adventure to like a new place because I think that's like the cool part about life is seeing new places. And a big fan. I didn't grow up in California, so I know there's a lot of places I haven't seen. There's a lot of places I have seen, but there's a lot of places I haven't seen. And I think that's what's so cool about life is that we need to remember that, there's always something new to learn. And I mean that in a positive, good way. Like, I don't care if you're the president or a CEO or, you're in Mensa or you're Elon Musk. Like, I don't care. There is no human being on the planet that knows everything. And you should never think that you do know everything. And it's when we like open ourselves up to new experiences that we do learn something new that we probably weren't planning on learning. And I think that's also very magical about life. When we're having fun doing it, when it's for work or life or, figuring out how the new vacuum works or the new blender or the printer, that's a different figuring out how it works. I recommend trying to find joy in it, but it's not the same. So So yeah, I recommend everybody make sure you take time out to go on little adventures with yourself, with friends, with family, with whatever. But it definitely made me take a step back and think, huh, what are some things that I could do to bring a lot more joy into my life? So I hope you enjoyed the takeaway. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you on the next dare. Bye.